just an inevitable quirk of this scooter. All right, super quick check-in. We've gone 15 miles. We're at 26%. We're back for our second video. In this second video, we mentioned that we're going to come back for a max speed run. This is going to be much more of a max speed and range run. So in this one, we've got the cruise set to the max speed, 24 miles per hour, which I don't know if the display's capturing. I'm going to have to pump the brakes here for this turn to make sure I don't have a collision. But the display, it was showing and it will show, this scooter has absolutely zero problem. Let's slow down with these pedestrians as well. This scooter has absolutely zero problem getting up to 24 miles per hour. You know, it really does seem like this scooter was engineered to hit those speeds. Some scooters, you can tell that they didn't really engineer it. You know, the hardware is not necessarily designed for the speeds, the top speeds that some manufacturers give them. You could just tell that they did like a firmware update down the line somewhere, and they said, okay, great, this scooter can go 25 or 27 miles per hour. This scooter, with the way the motor performs, you can tell it's been engineered to do a higher speed. And a lot of the factors of the scooter lend themselves to that top speed as well. One of the things I mentioned in the previous video, and I'll have more videos coming up that's more of a comprehensive review, but we mentioned the size and the weight. Size and the weight is definitely a pro and a con. It's a con for anyone that needs to be able to fold up their scooter and pack it into a bus or a train or carry it up a couple flights of stairs, or even someone that's constantly pulling it in and out of their trunk. I mean, 55 pounds is what the scooter weighs, and 55 pounds is no lightweight scooter. It's definitely not one of the heavyweight scooters that get into the 70 and 100 pound range, but still 55 pounds, you know, it could be lighter. That being said, you certainly are not wishing for a lighter scooter when you're going above 20, because that 55 pounds definitely makes you feel planted. So it's a very nice feeling, that 55 pounds. Let's get a little further up the trail and I'll check in. So now the wetlands portion of this trail is starting. I don't know if the camera is capturing the right side here, but the right side here is all becomes a wetlands. You see the green algae and a lot of birds, ducks. Generally speaking, this scooter does do pretty well. It does pretty well with hills and incline. I got to say I'm not wanting too much when it comes to hills or incline with the scooter. Again, let's take a look at the trail here. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see the birds. There's like cranes and all types of other things. And this test that we're doing, as we come up this incline and we're losing some speed, this test that we're doing is actually a max speed range test. And so the goal of this test is to just mash on the throttle, set cruise to maximum speed, which on this scooter is 24, and a very easy 24 that we can hit. And then with that max speed, coming in on this turn here, with that max speed, we're gonna see how much range we're able to squeeze out. But you could tell when something's engineered pretty well. You could just, and on this NAVEE, like I mentioned, the box, it mentions 37 miles per charge, miles per full battery. Ooh, little bunny hop, that was a big pothole. And we'll see if we can get close to that 37 marketing range number. Now we are down to 3 bars on this scooter here, so we'll pull over pretty soon and check on the app what our actual percentage is. All right, this is a nice little spot. We'll do a little off-roading here just to stop, pull off, and see how we did on range. I think we might have gotten a little carried away. I just checked the range on the app, We do like to turn around at 55% just in case the voltage sag comes to bite us later on. I just checked the app. We were having fun. We were doing the max speed 24 miles per hour set to cruise, and our turnaround point, we turned around at 49% battery. So let's see how this battery consumption goes. Maybe we get some back, and if we really start to see it sag and drag and looks like we're not going to make it back, then we might have to account for that in the speed, because 55 pounds is not exactly the weight you want to be pushing home. So we'll set cruise again as soon as we can to 24. There's the set. All right, well, we just checked the app. We're at 9.2 miles traveled, and we're at 9.2 miles traveled, and we're at 32% range remaining. So 32% range. Hopefully we make it back. That should be enough. I mean, the app is telling me that I still have 12 miles to go according to their calculations. I'll take that with a grain of salt. We did just check the app. We're at 11 total miles traveled so far. We're down to our last battery bar. And the app says we have 20% battery left. So we turned around somewhere a little shy of 9 miles. 20% left. So let's see how this aggregates. So like I said, we just checked the app. We're at 11 miles traveled and 20% battery left. As you can see, this thing, even with 1 bar of battery left, probably warmer temps than normal, has still no problem taking over an analog bike going uphill. So that's nice. And I mean, we're still hitting 24, 25 on the declines. There's our cruise beep right there, going up these hills here. Coming out of that incline at 19 miles per hour, climbing right back up to 25. So I had mentioned in the previous video, one little quirk, if there's one thing I could change about this scoot, I like the fact that it has cruise control. That's a must for me. What I don't like is how you engage the cruise control. Because with this scooter, the way you engage the cruise control is you just hold it steady at a certain speed for a certain amount of seconds. Wherever you end up holding the throttle for a certain duration of time, I don't know how many seconds, cruise control automatically enables, which is okay. That's manageable. But one thing that's a little bit annoying about the way that enables is it definitely enables at certain times that you're not expecting it. Maybe when you're slowing down to get around pedestrians or cyclists, you know, you're just feathering the throttle, you're trying to keep it from passing too quickly, or you could also just be waiting to pass a rush, like that situation right there, you know, just being polite, or even this situation right here where you don't want to just go barreling into the opposite lane. But I've had it in the past where just like that there, where you're passing pedestrians, you have no intention of beeping them, but pedestrians don't know whether you're honking, like your scooter's honk sounds like a beep, or whether that's a beep for cruise control. So I've had it where I'm passing someone and, you know, I'm like right next to them, and it basically seems to them like I've honked my horn at them, when in reality I'm just trying to pass them, you know, as quietly as possible. I mean, if I want to ding them, I could hit the bell, no problem. So it's just, yeah, one, I wish I could disable the noise. But the second thing to really optimize, you know, if NAVEE, if you're watching this, is just give us, you know, either a dedicated cruise button, or maybe, you know, some type of a, you know, on certain e-bikes you could hit a certain key, hold that key for a certain amount of time, and that is you setting the cruise. Something like that would be great, because then you set the cruise on your intention, not just when you're holding the speed steady for a certain amount of time. So it's not a major, you know, deal breaker. It's definitely not something that's, you know, affected my riding too much, but I could certainly see this, you know, getting on some pedestrian's nerve who's just had their fifth, you know, Sur-on fly past them, and then, you know, slow me comes by, beeps them, and they take it all out on me. Oh, look at that new development there. I don't know how long that's been red, but I see the red bar. I believe the red bar means 5%. We're going on a bit of an incline, so there already is a little bit of speed limiting there. But I think the scooter is also now limiting output. We're at 5%, I believe, is what that red bar means. We're nearly at the end of our test here. All right, little side of the road stats here. Pardon the road noise. But our final range, our final distance at 5% battery is 14%. So those are the official numbers on Strava. 14.16% going maximum speed. There will be a whole other video with a more detailed review, overall specs, and whether I'd recommend buying this scooter or waiting. So keep an eye out for that one. See you guys later.